Welcome back to New Harvest Farm. I wanted to give you guys a little update on our agroforestry system. We started putting this in 2 weeks ago and we finished. It took us a bit longer than I had anticipated because we had a lot of other things going on, but we finished it this week. So I want to show you what it looks like now because there's been quite a lot of change in the first 2 weeks already. It's just around. Here we go. We have our first tree row here. As you can see, the trees are actually looking quite healthy. We've actually had a lot of new growth already on the eucalyptus here. We've had the coffee's looking excellent. We've had, a lot of good growth. We have, the banana trees aren't sprouted yet, but we expect they'll take a while. But along the edge, as you can see, our jack beans are doing really well. The corn has come up nicely, although we missed a few spots. I can see there was a bit of confusion when we were planting. But very happy with how the tree row is looking so far. And as you can see, we've got our drip irrigation in here. This is something that we used a couple years back and did not have luck because we were trying to use it out of a pond and everything just gummed up. So now that we have our well, we think this is going to work excellent. We typically wouldn't need to put this in, but because we're doing this at the height of the dry season, I think it'll really help in establishing our crops. So in this row here we have a vegetable row. We have our tomato plants, which they've taken a bit of abuse because of the sun. And then in between the tomatoes we have corn. Along the edges, both edges, we have beets here, there, and there for the tomatoes to lay on. In the next row we have, this is our pineapple row. You can see we've got the pineapples. We have dry beans planted along the edge. And then in between every pineapple we have something. Let's see if we can find out here. So there we have a pigeon pea. In between the next ones we have some corn. And then this one we have pigeon pea and we have a cassava planted in there, which we just put in. It hasn't sprouted yet. The next row here is also a vegetable row. Here we have collard greens. You can see here we have collard greens. We have some corn that we planted here in the middle. Our tomatoes that we transplanted here did not do well. They were already sick before we put them in, so they won't. But then also in the rows here, we have some cilantro that hasn't sprouted yet, and some arugula. We go another tree row. We've done something a little different here. We just had some spacing a bit different. You can see we have some tomatoes also in here, also looking good. Next row is our coffee row. So here we have our coffee plant. There we have coffee every 3 feet. Then in between the coffee, you can see over there we have a cassava. And then we also have some, these are black-eyed peas growing along the edge along with a little bit of corn. All right, here we go. This is our root crop row. So here we have sweet potato vine. Sorry, it's a bit under the cover here. We've got mulching on everything. We have our sweet potato vine, which is starting to take. We have our cassavas, obviously, and then underneath every cassava we have a taro root, which has not sprouted yet, but I expect within the next few weeks we should see those popping up. This is a grass row here. You might ask, why are we trying to grow grass? But we have goats and we are going to have sheep, so we'll definitely need this in the future. And what we've done here is we've planted out, these are elephant grass cuttings here, which are actually very nutritious for the animals and they love it. So we've taken them, we've planted them, little cuttings. We expect they'll be sprouting here soon. In between these, on this half, we actually planted some alfalfa, if you can see here, in rows going this direction. And then on the other half, we planted corn down there. And then we have our last tree row, and I see my drip irrigation end cap came off to get that fixed. Here, same type of thing, except instead of using beans along the edge, we're actually using collard greens, which we'll be able to take and use for our lunch. So, there you go. As you can see, there's been a lot of change already just in the first 2 weeks. We expect we'll see a lot more here in the near future, so I'm excited about what we're seeing. We're seeing good growth in this area, especially because we know that this field has been really poor. We haven't really gotten any production off of here for the 4 seasons that we've tried. So, look forward to seeing what is going to happen here, and we'll keep you updated.